The deepest truth of you lies outside the bounds of this temporal world. That's why that everything that flows through this life seems to constitute this life really is possible to transcend. And it's that part of your being that lies beyond the limitations of this flow that remains with you eternally and always, unimpeached, unimpugned, unassailable. It's why when we are in touch with that it becomes possible not just to reach beyond the confines of this temporal world, but also because of the fact that we could be in that safe, unimpeachable place. It allows us to meet this world in all of its awfulness and its glory from that place of unimpeachable, unassailable peace. Whether our experience is holding what we would describe as something peaceful or pleasant or painful, still it can allow us to meet whatever it is that's in front of our nose. It's often called the peace that passes understanding. And although it may elude some of the faculties of our most linear, rational mind, it doesn't change at all the fact that any one of us, all of us, are capable of experiencing it directly. And it's from that experience that we come to know it. It's often described as being inside us, even though in the end it becomes impossible to locate, because after all, where is the place that is outside of the boundaries of this four-dimensional time-space? Where is that? It's that phrase, inside, it's inside us, that often points to it, simply because when we do what we call going inside, it often means really going to the experience or the awareness of that part of our being that simply can't seem to be placed in this four-dimensional time-space. It becomes impossible to put our finger on exactly what or where is that. It can't really be located in a specific point. And if it can't be located in a specific point, then it can't really be located in a specific time either, which is why we end up describing it as eternal. The more we meet this world from that place, perhaps the more it becomes a little bit like watching the flow of our life weave in and out of all the rocks and all the tumult and all the white water and all the calm as well. It becomes possible to see that none of that, none of the rocks, none of the white water, none of the obstacles actually impede the water. It still flows perfectly well. And it just flows. And so it doesn't become an act of judging, and we simply meet all of the busy goings on from that place of peace that's essentially outside of that tumult, unimpeached by it, unassailed. And so wherever that flow takes us, there's at least some element of real peace. And what could that peace be other than, if it's so peaceful, then it must be essentially loving. Not only to whatever we meet, but to the one even that appears to do the meeting. And as we meet all those others, all the other beings on our path, if we've been able to connect a little bit with that peace within ourselves, it becomes impossible not to acknowledge that there is something to that peace, there's something to that fundamental reality in each and every one of the beings that we meet. We can look in every set of eyes and see that there's something of it there. And it's in meeting it in all of those other beings, all of those other sets of eyes that we look into. When we see that piece there, we acknowledge it in ourselves. When we acknowledge it in ourselves, it makes it possible to increasingly see it in all of those others as well. It becomes an exchange in which it's impossible to see where it started or where it ends. So this is really just a little prayer that you can see that peace in others and find it in yourself. And as you find it in yourself, you can see it in others as well, even when they themselves cannot, which probably happens a lot. So here's a blessing for the journey. I sincerely hope it finds you. And here's walking in spirit. Peace be with you, my friends.